Good morning, everyone. It is 5:15 a.m., 64 degrees in the garage. On the menu today, we have back and biceps. It is the second back and biceps workout of the first week of this mesocycle, which means we're taking all sets to 3 reps in reserve, sticking with the same main movements, but making slight tweaks to them. Still going with a bent over row as our main lift to start off with, but we're making a small tweak and we're going underhand grip on the easy bar. Then we're gonna hit some pull-ups, but instead of doing chin-ups like I did last session, we're gonna be doing wide grip pull-ups. Then we're trying out a new bicep isolation exercise, spider curls, gonna hit some bent over shrugs with the trap bar, and then probably finish out with some forearm curls. Go ahead and feel free to follow along with this workout and every workout over the course of the mesocycle. I leave them all in the description, but I'm gonna finish up this pre-workout and then get to it. Let's get started. All right, so that first set, got 115 pounds for 12. That was my target based on the last workout that I had. I had done barbell bent over rows with the overhand grip for a set of 12, 3 reps in reserve. I figured even though this is a new move, I should be able to match that rep range. So that's what I did. Because going underhand is slightly easier than going overhand, for me at least. A little more bicep involvement, but it also targets the upper back and the lats in a slightly different way. One thing about this mesocycle was, because I'm prioritizing my upper chest and upper back thickness, that has to come at the sacrifice of something, because you only have so much time to work out. You can only do so much sets and reps before you're fatigued. I had to kind of cut into my arm training a bit. My arms are pretty good relative to the rest of my physique. They're a stronger point, as where I felt like my chest and back needed some more work. So one way that I was able to cut into my arm training a little bit while still maintaining size and maybe even gaining a little bit more size was to switch up the grips on certain exercises to target the arms a little bit more, but prioritizing a different body part more than the arms. For example, I switched out my neutral grip pull-ups for underhand grip pull-ups, chin-ups, to get a little bit more bicep activation instead of brachialis. And then on my rows, I did underhand rows to get a little bit more bicep activation. So even though I'm maybe cutting out a bicep move here or there throughout the course of the week, I'm still maintaining all that bicep size. So it's kind of a good way for me to work on a new goal without regressing. All right, I'm gonna rest up a little bit and then get the next set. All right, got 10 on that set. So I matched my reps from the last workout. Pretty difficult move, actually. I may consider dropping the weight and focus more on a pause at the top of the movement. But I do like the weight that I'm using right now because I feel like I'm getting a good stretch at the bottom. So we might just stick with it. Not sure yet. I'll cross that bridge when it comes next week. But pretty good. I'm liking it for the first time. Hopefully over the course of this meso cycle, it's one of those moves that we could really push the reps on and maybe not necessarily focus on even adding weight, but just fine tuning the technique and getting more out of each and every single rep. All right, next we got wide grip pull-ups. Let's rest up and then get it. Seven wide grip pull-ups, felt pretty solid. Versa grips make a big difference. Just so I can focus on contracting the lats more. Haven't done wide grip pull-ups in a while. Figured I could probably still get 10, so that's why my target was 7 today. My best set of wide grip pull-ups of all time at this body weight is 20. But not really with a slow eccentric or a deep stretch at the bottom of the movement, completely hanging, coming to a dead stop. It was more like that kind of pace. But used to primarily focus on calisthenics for a while, so I was specializing in pull-ups. That's how I got to that point, to do 20 full range of motion wide grip pull-ups. So I know it's in there, I could get back to that range, but not shooting for the most reps possible, just trying to get the most muscle activation possible. So for 7, on my first day doing this move in a long time, in the first week, I consider to be pretty good. So we'll rest up, try to do it again. All right, that set felt pretty good too. Back, not feeling the best pump of all time. Might have to rethink a couple of these moves, especially since I'm doing pull-ups and rows earlier in the week. I don't like to just ditch a move right away just because I didn't get the best results in the first session. So I'll probably stick with it, but I'll have a plan B on the back burner just in case. That's pretty much it for the back moves today. 2 sets of rows, 2 sets of pull-ups. Workload felt pretty easy, so we'll probably bump up the sets next week as well. We're gonna get warmed up and start hitting biceps next. We got spider curls, another new move. So let's set up for that and get to it. Spider curls, love at first lift right there. Man, that's a move that I really wish I would have been programming sooner. I like that one a lot. I like that I can get the full stretch at the bottom, don't have to use too much of a heavy weight, and can really just pump out the reps. I think my target for that move was like 12 reps because I was using that based on how much I did for incline. curls earlier in the week. I did 30 pounds for a set of, I think it was 12. And that was with 3 reps in reserve. So I figured I could do the same with this because I was gonna use 30-pound dumbbells. And then right around rep 12, I was like, I could do this 20 times. So I decided to go for 17 instead. And man, yeah, that felt great. I'm gonna rest up and get another one. I wouldn't be surprised if I have a steep drop off in the reps for the next set. Even if I do, it's all good. I could just work on getting 17 next week for the first set and then bringing up the reps for the second set. So, gonna take a second, catch my breath, hit that again. Looking forward to it. Okay. All right. So for that set right there, I did something a little different. And I curled it up and brought my elbows up just a little bit to get that extra squeeze at the top. And not sure if it's just because I kind of burnt myself out a little bit on the first set or that minor adjustment, probably a combination of both, but it made a big difference in the move. So I expected the reps to drop off on that next set. I didn't expect it to drop off that much and feel that way. So next week, when I do 2 reps in reserve, I'm gonna focus on bringing that elbow forward a little bit right away, right from the get-go, and see how much of a difference that makes going forward. But we got one more set of spider curls before we move on to the last, or the second to last movement, which is our bent over shrugs. So get some water, knock the set out. Okay. All right, solid pump in the biceps and forearms actually. And I haven't even hit forearms yet. Loving the spider curls. Want to go ahead and check out the back and bicep pump, see what the V-taper's looking like real quick. Then after that, we'll move on to bent over shrugs with the trap bar. Peaky fucking blinders. Yeah, the right bicep peak's coming in, baby. We're getting back there. Left to do some work. Front lat spread actually is not looking horrible. Not the worst. There's a car looking at me again. I gotta wait 1 second. Just avoid that awkward eye contact. All right, they're gone. get some better on the trap shrugs and some forearms. All right, so that's another move we're carrying over from the last meso cycle. Barbell, bent over shrug. It's really with the trap bar. I just like the hand positioning better. One thing I'm really trying to focus on with that movement is to actually lean forward and shrug, but instead of just bringing your shoulders to your ears, I try to shrug up and back to really hit that middle part of my upper back. I feel like I've been getting a lot more out of the move with that. Another thing that I'm doing is I'm letting my scapula completely come all the way forward at the bottom of the move to get a good stretch. So weighted stretch at the bottom, up and back, squeeze, all the way down to a weighted stretch again, up and back. Like I said earlier in the week, I'm looking for a Quasimodo physique. Just forearms and upper back. I don't care about legs no more. But yeah, we got 2 more sets of this. Take a minute, get after it. Form's degrading. Again, it's one of those moves, the range of motion is so short. You know, it's like a calf raise. It's like, where's 3 reps in reserve? Where's failure? Especially when you're going relatively lighter. So for me, when the form starts breaking down at all, like you got to do a little extra to get it up. You can't do it strict. So do 1 more set of this, get some forearm curls, call it a day. All right, last move of the day, cable forearm curls. Not much to it. Just grab the bar, bend your wrists forward. The reason why I isolate the forearms and use Versa grips, I'm sure I'm gonna get questions about that. And the reason why is because I use my grip a lot at work. And there's a difference between having a strong grip and having big forearms. Now, growing your forearms can give you a stronger grip, but using your grip a lot and getting your grip strong, it doesn't guarantee that you're gonna get forearm growth. I'm trying to grow my forearms and also keep my grip fresh for when I work. So I isolate the forearms directly while saving the grip, if that makes sense. It's kind of like walking all the time is not going to give you big calves. You know, sure, your calves will be able to do, you know, thousands and thousands of walking reps. Does it grow them? No, you need to isolate them. Otherwise, we'd all have jacked calves. Obviously, I don't, and I walk all the time, so that's a great example. But yeah, we're just going to go ahead and get this set, see how it feels. Maybe do 1 more after this. I already did 1, but Got like 60 pounds on here. Let's get it. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Wow, actually getting some vascularity in my arms again. Yeah, solid forearm pump in the morning. Insert masturbation joke. All right, guys, that's a wrap on that one. Got another back and bicep day in the books. Overall, pretty happy with the way it went. Could have been a little bit better, but considering we're trying out some new moves and some different variations, I think it went pretty well. We're just going to continue to lock in on the technique, try to add reps every session over the course of this meso, and hopefully eventually add some weight. Get to that point where we hit 0 reps in reserve, and just continue to progress. And that reminds me, like I said, feel free to set your notifications and follow along, because I put all the workouts in the description. I'm going to be uploading every day. That's it for upper body this week, in the first week. But we still got one more session, that's legs. We're going to hit that tomorrow. Looking forward to that one. So tune in. Don't forget to get a gram of protein per body weight pound today. Sleep 8 hours, drink a gallon of water, because it doesn't really matter what you do if you're not doing those things. You're selling yourself short. But yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Take it easy.